Poor little frontier, I'm about to do some terrible things to you. I have been developing for SMSEX for several months now, mostly nibbling around the edges, and that's mostly because I have had no real capability. I've used Xedit, which has taken me pretty far, but has its limitations. To really get into it, you've got to know the creation kit, and you've got to know at least something about 3D. Now, I've spent a lot of time banging my head over the creation kit and how it operates, and even more time pulling out my hair with NIFScope. NIFScope's not a true 3D program, but it does allow you to mess around with it. Let's get into how it works. Okay. Most of the time, I've been just piddling about with hap snaps because I haven't really been able to add much to it. I think that's pretty much it. However, I've been wanting to add a few items for some time now. We'll start off with the simple stuff, which I know fairly well, and we'll get to a description of it and how it works. Hap snaps, as you guys may know it, is a portrait of some tree on a hill. I've changed that because one of the things that you could not do with a portrait with a tree on it, on a hill, is recolor that. So what I've done is I've replaced them with a modified equipment plate that you can color. How about that? Now let's make it a nice bright pink. Yeah, that's pretty. Okay, I've also added a couple of other capabilities. One of these, as you know it, is the door snap. Now, the door snap used to be invisible. In fact, you could easily lose it. The only way you could find it was by activating it by grabbing onto something that you could see. I've changed that by adding a glowing ring. Hopefully this should remain hidden when you put your craft together, unless I completely messed it up. So let's put that one to bed. We got that one, I think, figured out. This works, of course, in the top and bottom snaps too, as well as the M-class snaps. So you can have that nice look. That one's funky. I gotta fix that, I think. Yeah. Okay, just being weird. Yeah, okay. It's me with my lack of depth perception. Okay, the next thing that we've done is something fairly new. Now, I know other people have done it, and I don't want to steal their thunder, but I thought I'd dip my toes into it just to see what it's all about. Let's see if I can find that puppy. There we go. These are spacers. I don't know what the other guy calls them, but I nickname them stars because it kind of reminds me of an asterisk. And that allows you to, of course, stick stuff on top or put something in the middle if you're capable of doing that. To make sure that I don't steal anybody else's idea too far, I did not come up with much. I just came up with some verticals and some horizontals. You will not see anything that's longitudinal. This is 150%. In theory, it's maybe that. It looks a little bit larger, but anyway. And I've come down with other versions. You can see the size differences. Okay, and those, of course, are colorable too. Okay, hab snaps aside, the real thing that I've been working on are a series of cowlings and wings. Those are very challenging for a number of reasons. What I've done is I've taken a normal Nova cowling and a normal Nova wing and slammed them together real hard to come up with something else. Now, the Nova wing is pretty cool, but it's got a couple of limitations. First of all, it's mostly only horizontal. That's a big limitation. I mean, yeah, you can twist them around and put them other ways. That's kind of neat, but I wanted something that could go up and down. And then I wanted something that could go at a diagonal. So now you got yourself a really thick fin. This one was a challenge to come up with how to do it properly. This is made from a Nova cowling. Now the little short ones, let me see if I can find it. These guys right here. And what I've done is, using NIF scope, I scaled it in 2 dimensions, the X and Y axis, X and Z axis. And now 2 of these will fit on one of these. And it also helps me make a wing. Why did I pick such a shallow angle for the wing? 2 reasons. First of all, because of the thickness of the Nova wing, I am right up against the stop. 25 degrees is about the maximum I could squeeze out of that before running out of at least something this can handle. I would maybe make it larger. Maybe that would work. But the more important reason is Deratech and Metallurgia have ramps. The ramps are pretty cool. The ramps only suffer from 2 problems really, but it's mostly on the Deratech front. His problem is he likes chrome. Deratech ramps go up 1 habitat, so you can connect up 2 habs together. And so that equals about 24 degrees. What I've done is I've come up with this item. Let's see, there we go. Which perfectly matches it. And I've increased the scale of this a little bit, about 115%, I think it is, so that it is the same basic width. This will allow you to more equally merge it in so it doesn't stand out so much. Now, if only he had one that I could color properly instead of the different versions of chrome, that might be nice. Of course, with Deratech, that's pretty much all you get. That's about as wide as I can make it. Of course, these are all paintable. In case you wanted something erotic. The other thing I've done on these elements here is I've added some hab snaps. It's got the weapon snaps, but also because of the design, the placement of the snaps, if you've turned off collision, you can now almost perfectly meld them together. I think I need to do a little bit of adjustment because there's a tiny bit, if I return this to some other color, there's a tiny bit of color that bleeds through from the wing. And of course, the limitations are the wing is not perfectly flat, so you get these bulges here. Not bad, but it seems to meld in pretty good. You don't see the root here of this wing, so that was one of the important issues. And this would allow you to build some pretty flippin' big rings. And of course, oops, let's get that right. I've gone in 4 different directions. So you get 24 degrees down, 24 degrees up, and of course the aft side. So you can now finally come up with a properly designed X-Wing vehicle that has X wings, not X sticky out bits. You know, something wing shaped. Finally, because I had to create my own pieces of wing root, whatever you want to call them, these cowling pieces that right there, as a bonus, I've included that. That was almost just a throwaway, a gimme, because they were already designed. All I had to do is snap them up and allow them to be painted. It is called the Nova fairing. You'll see it just about at the very bottom of the Nova list. And they are pretty much just those shrunk down Nova short cowlings. They only take up one snap, and they're about the perfect size of a hab. There are some issues with it because in some instances I've seen where there's some mild clipping if you put something up here, say something 3 wide or more, and it may cause you trouble if you don't have the collisions turned low, the whatever they call it, that allows you to do a lot of overlap. And of course, they are flippable, and you get 2 different or 3 different versions. Also, because I am fooling around with snaps, you can offset something into it. If not that, because of its size, it's not very big. Maybe something else. Maybe put a Deimos wing in there or something. Now, right now, these are colorable. So, when you combine these fairings along with, for instance, the wings, you can do a pretty cool job of streaming over some of the chunky bits. Something like that. Or if you wanted to get real radical, let's see if I can do this. I'm usually pretty bad at this stuff here. There we go. There you go. Now you've got yourself a true wing. If you wanted to, you could even go back down an angle and make them flap a little bit. Let's see. Like that. So that's what I've been busy doing. Later on, if I can, I will be doing the same with the Deimos wings, at least A and B. that's what I've been doing. I'd like you guys to take a look at it, see if that works for you, see if there are any bugs, and get back to me. This is a release candidate as it is. I've noticed that I'm still missing a couple of color swaps I saw in my go through. I think one of the snaps was missing it. Everything else should be color swappable. Hope you guys liked it. Thanks a bunch. I'm going to upload it now.